I wear different hats, one of which is as a pediatrician, but most of all, I wear the hat of a woman. My career takes me through a lot of paths that women face. I'm going to start by telling you the story of Amina. Amina is a lady I met at the VVF Center in Kebbi. VVF means vesicovaginal fistula. That is a condition that largely doesn't exist in most parts of the developed world any longer. It exists in low middle income countries. It is a disease that reflects poverty. It is a condition that reflects poor systems, poor maternal health systems, and poor knowledge. Vertigovaginal fistula simply means that an abnormal connection is built between the bladder and the urethra, cause the bladder and the back passages, the fecal passages, causing women to pass feces through their urethra, which is unusual. Amina was a child bride. She was married off early. She's not sure what age, but she developed VVF for the first time, and she came to the Kebbi VVF Center. That wasn't when I met her. During the course of her life, she had a second pregnancy, and usually patients with VVF are supposed to have an elective cesarean section. She didn't. So her fistula came back, and she came back to the center. Fistula is a condition where the women they have a strong stench of urine, and that is the first stigma that she faced. Back to her home, it's not uncommon for patients with VVF to go and come. And she went back. This time, she contracted HIV from her husband. And she came back with her maybe fourth pregnancy at this time. And during a routine examination of her cervix, it was found that she had developed cervical cancer. This is the VVF Center in Kebbi. It's somewhere I go. In fact, this was of recent. It's somewhere I go very often. I wear a cancer advocate cap, and that is more known. But women with HIV are 6 times as likely to develop cervical cancer. And cervical cancer is one of the greatest inequities of our time. And it is a disease that women face largely because they have not been vaccinated. It's a totally preventable cancer. However, the stigmatization, what is stigma? Stigma, when we talk of stigma, it's a condition of disgrace, of shame, of being pointed at simply because of poverty, because of a disease condition, and in this case, because she wasn't able to access the right treatment. Women with cervical cancer, like I said, a preventable illness. We have about 7,000, 8,000 cases in Nigeria every year. Over 90% of them come late, and over half of them end up dying before the end of that year. This is not uncommon. Globally, the figure is under 1 million, and 600,000 of them are diagnosed, but 90% also die. It's a disease where the access to treatment is poor, but it's not so different from the outcome is not so different from the other cancers. Um, Breast cancer is the commonest cancer in Nigeria, and it's also a distressing condition whereby the women are stigmatized against, and these are images. I don't mean to distress you, but these are images that I wake up to almost on a daily basis because of the cap that I wear as a cancer advocate. The reason we're seeing these kind of images is because the cancers are detected late. Women stay at home being stigmatized against. Women are not economically empowered enough to seek the help that they require. Our systems are not built to prevent women from developing diseases like this. And in the cases where they are, we face a huge amount of misinformation that causes them to seek alternative care and end up with poorer outcomes. So the story and the stigma of cancer is one that evolved for me. I started as an advocate, and then I started looking beyond Nigeria on how I can change things a little bit. I ended up looking at the largest global cancer body in the world. I vied for the board position, and then I went twice more. And then it occurred to me, or I found out in the course of that engagement, that this was a 93-year-old organization that had never had an African president. So that pushed me. I went and I submitted myself to run for presidency. It's an election. About 1,200 members vote for you. I lost the first time. It didn't deter me. I went a second time and I won. Thank you. And what I hope to achieve with this position is to bring some form of equity to women in low middle income countries, to disadvantaged populations like children. Many of you will wonder, do children get cancers? Yes, they do. To these children, to bring the access and the understanding and prevention closer to home so that we can balance what we're seeing a little bit more. It won't happen in my lifetime, but I know that if I keep going at it, if I keep giving the knowledge to other people, the younger generation, then we're likely to see some difference. Thank you.